Hi everyone! So I'm back today to share my latest design team project for Country Craft Creations. I was sent the Simple Stories Simple Vintage Ancestry collection. So basically what I received was the Craftology Box, and what I used out of that Craftology Box were you were sent 2 of the 12 by 12 pattern papers, so each one in the collection. I was sent the 6 by 8 paper pad. I received the decorative brads, the portrait bits, the bits and pieces. That's basically what I used to create this album. There were also some graphic 45 tags in there. There were some frames in there. There was some ribbons, some twine, some enamel dots. I probably have enough to do one more small project with it, or make some cards. I haven't quite decided which direction I'm going to head. So let's get into the album. Get this out of our way. Get my trusty ruler out so we can talk about the size. So the album cover measures 7 by 8.5 with a 2.5-inch spine. So when I looked through the pattern paper to begin with, in the 6 by 8 paper pad, there was this piece of paper. I cut it down strictly because I just love what it says on it and thought it is the perfect cover for my album. It says, "The roots of a family tree begin with the love of 2 hearts." And I totally believe in that. These are the decorative brads, and really what they are is they're just fancy enamel dots, so they're not really a brad that you would put through the paper. They're just an enamel dot or that you'd adhere to something, and I just thought they added enough interest. I wanted to keep my covers plain and simple. I used the artisan brown cardstock to make this album, so all I did is I layered this piece of pattern paper onto a piece of artisan brown cardstock, and then I popped it up. On the spine, I used some of the 2 by 2 cut-aparts. I went with the words because, again, this is what I thought this album was all about. This is us, together forever. Family is forever. And then the back is plain. I will add my Made by Bonnie little sentiment to the back of it. So without further ado, let's get inside this album and let you take a look at what I came up with. So it consists of 4 pages, and the pages measure, I believe, 8 by 6.5. Each page has a pull-out from the top loading pocket. We'll talk about those in a second. But let's start with the front cover, or inside cover. One other thing I'd probably mention, if you've got lots of pictures, I might not pop up as many things as I did in this album. It closes, and there is room. But if you've got lots of pictures, I might lay off the pop dots. I got a little carried away, but then I typically do when it comes to pop dots. So there is this flip that flips to the left that is also a pocket. And in the pocket, I put some 3 by 4 cut-aparts. Let them blank on the back so you can write or you can add pictures. The 6 1/4 by 4 1/4 photo mats I left plain because I went, you're going to put pictures on them anyway. Let's leave them plain this time. And they all slide into this pocket so nicely. And then the other thing I should tell you about this project is I did use a lot of magnets. If you're not a fan of magnets or you don't have access to them, you could always use ribbon any place I used a magnet in the album. So it flips to the left. There's a generous spot for a picture. And then it flips to the left again. And what we have here, I'm just going to pull out one of these photo mats, is I used a decorative punch, just one I had in my stash, but I didn't adhere it all the way. So you could just tuck your pictures in under here if you wanted to, or you could just put your 4 by 6 picture and then just leave that as a decoration along the side. There's room for pictures here. You could do 3x4s, you could do 4x6s, you could do a 5x7. You could do an 8x10 crop down if you could get it cropped down enough. So there's lots of room for some nice size pictures. And it says here, we live as long as we are remembered. And this again, I believe came from the 6x8 paper pad. I may have cut it down from a 12x12. Just can't remember right now. Again, I kind of left this open because this is another one of these bands that use the decorative punch on the edge of it. And I think this one is a spiral. It's an EK Success. I've had it forever. I wouldn't put a picture on the front of this. I think you want to keep the words. And that's, to me, is sometimes you don't need pictures on every section of your album. So it flips open, and then it flips open again. There's room for a 4x6 or a 5x7 if you cropped it down. Same over here. And then it flips open again. So I made sure to leave a lot of space for pictures. And here. Like I say, if you didn't add this, you could have put a 5x7 on it. You might get a 5x7 in on this page even with the little accent, the embellished accent. So it closes, and it does have magnets. Every page has a no, it's not. It's a 5 3/4 approximately by 8 photo mat that's in the top loading pocket. I left them all blank too because I went, there's enough going on in here. We'll just need room for pictures. So this came off of, I think it came out of the Bits and Pieces. This is a 4x6 card I cut down. And it says, we are family, and it flips like so. I'm not going to be able to get it all in the picture, so I'm going to have to do one like this, and then one like this, and back. And then there's room for another picture here. Everything is just a tuck spot, so we've got lots of room. I love the Bits and Pieces because it reminded me of pictures I have of when I was growing up. So I thought they'd make lovely little embellishments in the book, it says. In the book itself. This says a lifetime of love. It's a 3x4 cut apart, popped up. And this is what I'm saying. If you want to give yourself more room for pictures, don't pop these things up. And it flips open. Generous space for a picture. You can get a 4x6 quite nicely into that space. And then it opens again. And of course there's a tuck spot. The hearts are from the sticker sheet. And then again, I always made sure to leave these open. You could certainly glue them down if it's what you want it to do. On the back of page 1, this is another 3x4 cut apart. It says, family, like branches on a tree, we all grow in different directions, but our roots remain as one. And I think that's a great definition of family. And it flips up. Lots of room for pictures or journaling. The choice would be yours. There's a pocket, and this is from the sticker sheet, and it says forever. And then, like I say, there's a couple of photo mats. These are 5x7s. You certainly could put more photo mats in that pocket if you wanted to. Then on the front of page 3, I should say, I love this page. This was off the sticker sheet. I just cropped it down a little bit so it would fit on this very shallow pocket I created. And 2 photo mats. And when you remove them, you've got this beautiful piece of pattern paper. And they just tuck right in here. You probably have room for more. And then down at the bottom, I wanted to create a little gatefold, but I was looking for a different way to close it. It is held shut by a magnet, but this square is on, is askew, I guess is how I'm going to say it. And you open it up, and you've got room to journal. You've got room for some small pictures. It's just, like I just love this page. It's just simple. I guess that's what I like about it. And any of you that know me well know I think less is more. So on the back of page 3 and the front of page 4, I kind of did some mirroring that I like to do. And it flips to the left and it flips to the right. There are no magnets holding down these flaps because I just went, there's enough weight to keep them closed. And they're similar to the flap that's on the front cover. Again, there's room to tuck a picture under. And then in each of these pockets, there's 2 3x4 cut-aparts. And also some 4x6 photo mats. Actually, I think they're 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. This is from the 2x2 cut-aparts. This comes out of the bits and pieces. Same on this side, except that my 3x4 cut-aparts, of course, are different. But that would be your choice. So that's the back of page 3 and the front of page 4. And then on the back of page 4, I have a flip that flips up and one that flips down. And this is from the 3x4 cut-aparts. It says Heritage. I didn't pop this up because what was happening is when I got my little accordion pocket full, I noticed it was kind of pushing, and I thought, I'm just going to put it flat, no popping up, so to give me a little bit more room. And on the inside back cover, I created this accordion pocket, and this is a 4x6 cut-apart that I think I cut down a little bit more to make it fit, and it says together we make a family. And then I used that decorative punch again, and this time I didn't leave a spot because I was afraid it might get caught on something and start to rip. So in the pocket I have some photo mats, some 6 1/4 by 4 1/4, along with some 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. You could add more if you wanted to, but if you're going to make this little element, and I'm going to set the book aside. In the 12 by 12 collection, there was a sheet of paper that was the like the ancestry chart, the family tree chart. It's not a family tree, but it's that chart. I don't know the correct name for it. And I thought, I want to use it, and I want to use it whole. I had some idea about folding it. Kind of had a talk with Tammy. We talked about a couple of things. And then she said, why don't you cut your cardstock and then adhere the pieces to the cardstock? And I went, great idea. So this is what I came up with. I created a chart for the father's side and the mother's side because these were 3x4 cut-aparts that were in the collection. And then I just did some layering of of the pattern paper. I had a piece of the artisan cardstock, so I put it in my scoreboard. I scored it at 6. I turned it and I scored it at 6 down to where the 6-inch line intersected. Then I put it in my cutter and I cut it the rest of the way. Then I took the 12 by 12 pattern paper. I cut it into 6x6 squares. I took 1/8 of an inch off the outside edges of each piece, inked them, and then put my puzzle back together, making sure not to lay my pieces on my fold lines. This way it fits in my album. It's still intact. Families can write in who their family members are. I love how this turned out. And then when you want to put it away, it folds up nice and neat. So you've got the mother, you've got the father, and I thought this was just the added touch for this album. And you've got the album. So that's what I created using the Simple Stories Vintage Ancestry Collection. I hope you like it. I will have the video up shortly of how I created the album. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I would love it if you'd post pictures of what you create. I hope you guys are having a great day, and talk to you soon.